Folks, here we go again. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 is releasing on September 4th, 2020, which is just a few days away, and I'm personally excited about the game. Skateboarding games have seen a bit of a resurgence in recent times with Skater XL, as well as the Skate 4 announcement, and of course the announcement that Tony Hawk was coming back to a modern generation of player and console. And look, I'm excited about it. You know, I'm a big fan of nostalgia and remakes of older games, and look, I've been a big fan of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series pretty much since the beginning. I've got fond memories of playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 on the Sega Dreamcast and later 2X on the original Xbox, and quite honestly, for me, it was some of the best gaming memories that I've ever had, and I've always followed the series. I even picked up the ill-fated Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 on the PlayStation 4, which, as we know, turned out to be just completely terrible. So when I heard about the pre-master of 1 and 2 and that Vicarious Visions was on board, I was hyped. My pre-order was firmly placed, and I was anticipating September 4th to be a great Friday and a great weekend just to play Tony Hawk Pro Skater all weekend. And of course, there was the 1-minute demo that was going around, and that looked excellent as well. So look, everything was set for a very good Tony Hawk Pro Skater release, and you know, I would think that it would do well on Metacritic and stuff like that, and people would really like the game. But as it happens, I'm going to likely go ahead and cancel my pre-orders if the rumors are true. Now, why is that, you ask? Well, it happens that there are strong rumors, and I do stress strong rumors because the game has not released yet, to suggest that the game is requiring online activation DRM. In other words, if you buy a physical copy from the store or from GameStop or from wherever, the game itself will be a paperweight unless you actually activate your copy of the game. And the last time I talked about this was with the original versions of Doom that Bethesda had released, but they very quickly listened to the public, and to their credit, they removed those DRM checks from the game. And it seems like Activision is doing exactly the same thing that Bethesda did with Doom, but they're doing it with Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. Now, I might add that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 released in 1999 and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 released in 2000. So we are talking about online activation DRM for games that go back 20-something years. I mean, think about that for a second. With Doom, it was like 23 or 26 years. I'm not entirely sure about the math if that's correct, but you get the point. I mean, it's something that is really upset a lot of people, myself included. Now, this discovery was found by YouTuber Lance McDonald, who is very well known for his Bloodborne videos, and notably the 60 frames per second Bloodborne patch videos that you may have seen that Digital Foundry has done. And he tweeted that he had heard that the game would require online activation. And an article was run by Niche Gamer that also mentioned Lance McDonald's tweets, but they also stated that they had heard a similar anonymous source corroborate and verify that particular claim. So why is this a bad thing? Why do we even care? Why am I so unhappy about online activation DRM? Well, quite simply, DRM never protected anything, never protected anybody. All it really does is hurt your brand. And if you think of it this way, right now you can play the game on your PlayStation 4, but let's say 12, 13 years from now, if you want to play that game on your PS4 hardware as a retro system, assuming there is online connectivity, you can still play the game. But if there isn't, or something has changed as far as the online activation DRM, or those particular activation servers are no longer around, then you can't play the game at all. And that's really a really frustrating thing for many people. But even in the here and now, the thing that makes online activation DRM really frustrating is that you have to connect to the internet to activate and play a single player game, and even worse, possibly remain connected in order to play that single player mode. I mean, that is just insulting and should never be allowed by anyone. Now, I do want to stress that this game does come out in a few days, and these rumors may not be 100% accurate, or Activision may look at this information and look at the cries of unhappiness from the public and decide to patch this pretty quickly after launch. That's possible. Now, Activision has had a track record of doing kind of shady stuff like this in the past. In 2017 with Call of Duty World War II, that game required online activation. Now, you could say, well, it's Call of Duty. I mean, it probably needs it in some way. But there's also the Spyro Reignited trilogy where only the first game came on disc and the other two games needed to be downloaded, which was very, very strange. And this is just another one of those shady things that Activision is trying to pull over the public. But I personally am not a fan of this at all. The other thing to mention is Activision also were very quick to announce that there was no microtransactions with the Tony Hawk games, at least at launch. But I mean, look, to me, it just seems like they're gearing up to allow for microtransactions at some point after the game has launched. I'm not really too sure. But look, at the end of the day, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 requiring online activation DRM is not something that is acceptable. It shouldn't be acceptable to anyone out there. I'm certainly not a fan of it. And look, like I said, I'm probably just going to go ahead and cancel my pre-order. If these rumors are substantiated and this is actually true, then yeah, I'm probably going to give this one a miss and just go back to the old classics. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 on the Dreamcast, 2X on the original Xbox, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. I mean, there's so many amazing Tony Hawk games you can go back and revisit and enjoy without having to screw around with online activation DRMs and making sure your system's connected to the internet and all that stuff. I do have some hope that Activision will listen to the public and maybe look at some of the news articles that are bound to come out about this story over the next few days and maybe consider making a patch for it. Bethesda was able to do it with Doom, so hopefully we can get Activision to also consider removing the online activation DRM portion as well, at least for the single player mode of the game, which, you know, is pretty much the reason why the majority of us are going to want to play this game. And that's really the real confusing part about all this to me and to other people, is that there's just no reason that you should ever consider wanting to put an online activation DRM into a game like Tony Hawk Pro Skater. But guys, we are going to leave it here for this video. Let me know your thoughts about the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 online activation DRM. Do you think I'm overreacting? Are you happy about it? Are you unhappy? Do you not care? I definitely want to hear your thoughts and what you guys have to say in the comments below. Well guys, that will do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, leave me a thumbs up and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye for now.